Hey guys, welcome to 30-Year-Old Virgins. I got a special guest with me here today. I got Paula Gallagher. Hey Paula.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Paula is a dietitian and she does a lot of other things. So Paula, I can't remember what you do. So could you possibly just tell our audience what you do?
Yeah, I do quite a few things. So first off, I am a full-time instructor over at Columbus State. So
Okay.
I teach nutrition full-time. I also own a private practice called the Gutsy RD where I see patients for gut disorders, any kind of GI disorders.
Okay.
And then I'm also a consultant for 5 different nursing homes in Columbus. So I do all of their clinical charting.
So you pretty much just know everything there is about food.
No. Sometimes I like to think so, but absolutely not.
Nice. So obviously being 30, a lot of people don't really know how to eat properly.
Right.
So I actually reached out to a handful of people. Got some questions for you to answer.
Awesome.
You ready?
Awesome. Sounds fun.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Ask a pro. Let's go. So question number 1. What is the real importance of breakfast?
Breakfast. And you've probably heard it. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But
I have heard
everyone
this.
is like, why? Why do I need to eat breakfast? I think that breakfast really sets the tone for what you're going to do for the rest of the day.
Okay.
You make a healthy breakfast decision. It sets you up for the whole day. And research has shown time and time again that those that eat breakfast typically are at a more healthy weight with a lower BMI opposed to those that don't eat breakfast.
Okay. So you mentioned the BMI. Kind of going off script here for a
Yeah.
second. So BMI, body mass index.
Yeah.
So I am considered obese for the BMI. So is that still a metric we should go off of, or is it outdated? Or?
So dietitians typically don't use BMI alone. We look at BMI to assess what category you're in, and then we take that BMI and we also compare it to your blood lipid level. So
Okay.
yeah, you might have an overweight BMI, but your lipids look great. It puts you at a lower risk of
Okay.
chronic diseases.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sick of being told that I'm obese,
Right.
according to my BMI.
Right.
All right.
BMI is not everything.
Okay, good. So question number 2. One food or supplement that you should eat or take that you probably are not taking.
All right.
Or eating.
So there's a couple foods that I like that people just, I think that it's underutilized. So number 1 is lentils.
Okay.
Have you ever had lentils?
What are lentils?
So lentils are like a very small bean.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it is.
Got it.
So you probably have never had it.
Nope, never
Okay,
had it.
all right. So lentils are great because they're a really good vegetarian source of protein. There's 9 grams per 1/2 cup. There's
Okay.
also 7 grams of fiber. They're loaded with iron and zinc and folate.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a really good protein substitute to just meat products.
Okay.
And they're lower in fat.
Awesome.
The other one is a spice called turmeric.
Turmeric.
Ever heard of that one?
I have not.
Okay, all right. So
let's-
that is it's what gives curry the bright yellow color.
Okay, got it.
So that one is kind of like a superfood. It's been studied in everything from inflammation to diabetes to cancer, and it's something you can literally just throw in your scrambled eggs to give it a new flavor. But it has all these really great health properties.
Cool. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. So what's it called again?
Turmeric
Turmeric. Try turmeric.
and lentils,
And lentils. They're very good for
but
you.
maybe not together.
All right, moving on. Question number 4.
I think this is 3.
Yeah, you're right. Question number 3. My bad. That's my bad. Number 3. What is a food that most people think is good for you, but it really is not?
Food that is good for you. All right, granola. Granola is not good for you. And if
not.
anyone out there is eating granola as a cereal, stop right now because granola is not meant to be a cereal. Hear that? Granola can have 150 calories for 1/4 a cup, and
Okay.
it can be loaded with sugar. Granola is okay if you're topping yogurt with a small amount of it, but really watching no more than 1/4 of a
way.
serving, unless you're making it yourself and then you can control the sugar. But most of the prepackaged stuff loaded with sugar.
So why do people think it's so good for you? Then?
I don't know.
I mean, I personally thought that granola was good. When I think about healthy food, I think granola is good. It
Right.
has to be good for you.
Right, like
granola
nuts
and
and,
yogurt.
seeds and
Granola and
oats
yogurt.
and tons of sugar. Watch
Did
it.
not know that.
Look at the sugar on the side of the package. Limit the portion size.
So granola bars.
Granola bars are a little bit better. It's the straight up granola cereal stuff that's the problem.
You would never think. You never
No,
think
that's
that.
why I'm here.
That is why you're here. Thank you, Paula. All right. So now we're going to question number 4.
Okay.
All right. Let's do that one. So why is eating healthy important to someone who can eat whatever they want and still look thin? So someone's skinny. Why should they eat healthy?
Right. So there's a lot of people out there that have really high metabolisms that get to eat whatever they want and they just can't gain weight. They don't put on a pound.
We call those people lucky.
Lucky is a good word to use, yes.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is that just because a person's at a healthy weight or they don't weigh a lot doesn't mean they're healthy. So we look past that, and I mentioned it before, blood lipid levels. So your HDL, your LDL, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, right? A person who is skinny can also have high blood pressure or be at risk for cardiovascular disease. So
true.
the weight really doesn't mean all that much. It's putting the weight and all of those lab values together.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So if you're skinny, you can eat whatever you want. You gotta watch everything else.
Watch out.
Yep. So question number 5. What is a healthy alternative when you're craving sweets?
All right, that's
I
a
know
tough one.
that happens to a lot of people. Sometimes you want that cake, you want that pie.
Right.
You want everything.
Right, and I have a sweet tooth, so I completely understand this. So what I do, I try to just have a small amount of sweets. So if I'm craving sweets, I'll do like a square of dark chocolate and maybe like add some fruit to it, or sometimes even like melt the dark chocolate and put it over berries to give me that, to fulfill that sweet craving without all the calories. Another one, like if a person's a big ice cream eater, doing frozen yogurt instead and watching the portion size. I even like those little pudding cups, like the Jell-O pudding cups that have 60 calories.
Could you do the voice? Jell-O pudding? Put the Jell-O in the pudding and then mix it all around.
Well, I mean, typically I buy Snack Pack brand, not Jell-O, but you get what I'm saying.
Got it.
One of those would be fine too, because it doesn't have a ton of calories and it helps get rid of that craving.
Okay, cool. So conversely, so what is your body telling you when it's craving salt?
That's another good one. So typically, there's a couple of reasons, but typically if you're craving salt, it means you're dehydrated.
Okay.
Because salt helps your body hold on to water.
Okay.
So if your body's craving salt, it's helping you hold on to water because you're dehydrated. It could also just be a craving dependent, like sometimes you want an actual like crunchy snack, and that's literally, maybe think of the rest of your diet that you've had that day. Maybe you've been eating like all soft foods for that day. You've had salad, you've had a yogurt. Really, it's a craving your body's having to actually have something crunchy.
Right.
So sometimes the salt can be dehydration, sometimes it's just a craving due to wanting something crunchy.
Okay, cool. So good alternative, like maybe celery.
Yeah, I mean,
Something like
celery, baby carrots, even if you pair it with like hummus or a low-fat veggie dip or even ranch, it's still a good way to get your veggies in.
Perfect. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so this one should be an easy one for you. Question number 7. What is an alternative to bananas for potassium? Because I know a lot of people don't like bananas.
Right.
So.
And everyone, I don't know why if bananas have like 400 milligrams of potassium per banana, which really isn't that much when we look at a lot of other foods. I don't know why bananas always stuck, but cantaloupe's a good substitute. It has about 400 milligrams too. Sweet potatoes are another one, but one that a lot of people forget about is coconut water.
Coconut water.
So that's really important because you can have coconut water right after a workout when you might start cramping up, just like you would eat a banana. Coconut water has almost double the potassium that bananas have.
Cool. That's a good idea. I like it. All right, so moving on along. So you talked about water before.
Yeah.
So biggest problem, not drinking enough water. How can I get myself into drinking enough water?
Do you drink enough water?
I try to.
You try to?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of people out there that just don't like the taste of water, even though it really doesn't taste like anything.
Right.
So one easy way, first off, to know how much water you need is to take your body weight and divide it in half.
Okay.
So a 120-pound person needs 60 ounces of water per day. So it's not always that 8 glasses per day. The other thing to remember, let's say that 60 ounces, it's not straight up water that you need. It comes from the foods that you're eating, like yogurts or soups. All of that still has liquid too. So that's how much water you need. How to actually drink it, typically I tell people if you need 60 ounces of water per day, and this is the water bottle that you're using, figure out how many times you have to fill that up.
Okay.
And then throughout the day, set a goal. So if you need to fill that water bottle up 4 times, know that by the time you eat lunch, you should have one of those down. By the time it's midday, you should have another one of those down to space it throughout the day so it's not, 7 o'clock at night and you're realizing you've had 3 ounces of water.
Right.
It'll also help having to go to the bathroom all day too. So like you don't want to chug all at once, you just want a steady, consistent amount of water throughout the day.
Right. So another alternative to that too that I actually know, watermelon in the summertime.
There you go.
Tons
Exactly.
of water in watermelon, right?
And like celery, baby carrots, like most of your fruits and vegetables are loaded with water too.
Perfect. All right. Next question, number 9. What are ways I can kickstart my metabolism?
Okay, so I hate to break it to you, but there isn't really like a superfood that's gonna just kickstart your metabolism and make you lose lots of weight.
Why not?
Doesn't happen like
Why?
That's why I still have a job.
Okay.
So the best way to jumpstart your metabolism, so when people are trying to lose weight, typically they start skipping meals and having less and less calories.
Right.
And that may not be the way to do it.
Okay.
I typically have my clients eat more food and more frequently.
Okay.
As long as they're having nutrient dense food and, fruits and vegetables and whole grains and not junk food. So eating frequently is going to help kickstart your metabolism.
Okay.
I always ask people, are you hungry when you wake up in the morning? So are you hungry?
Yes.
Okay, so that tells me that's a good thing.
Always.
That tells me that your body has burned through all of the food that you gave it the previous day. You wake up, you're hungry, you feed it more, you start the fire again. Then by the time you get to lunch, you're hungry again, you start eating again, so you're consistently fueling that fire.
Okay.
When people tell me they're not hungry, I know their metabolism slowed down.
Right.
Hunger is a good thing.
Got it.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Is there truly a good source of fat?
Yes. So there are 2 good fats, 2 bad fats.
Okay.
The bad fats you're always going to see on the food label. They're known as saturated fat and trans fat.
Okay.
The good fats are not necessarily on the food label because legally they don't need to be on there, but
Okay.
they're monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats.
Okay.
So those are found in things like avocados and nuts and seeds and nut butters and even fish.
Okay.
So those actually help lower your bad cholesterol and raise your good cholesterol.
Okay.
There's also omega-3s, which we've heard lots about. Those you mostly find in fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, things like that. And to get enough omega-3s every week, you want to get at least 2 servings of fish per week.
So what are omega-3s good for?
They are good for heart health.
Okay.
So they, again, help adjust those lipid levels and decrease your risk of cardiovascular disease.
Okay.
Always trying to get them from food sources when you can, but if you're a person, especially if you're over the age of 50 and you're not eating any seafood or getting omega-3s, it might not be a bad idea to get a fish oil supplement.
Okay. Last question.
Last question.
This
all
actually
right.
came from 2 separate people.
Okay.
Same question. How do I make quick and healthy family dinners for my kids?
Oh, that's a tough one. So kids can be pretty darn picky. So first off, trying to involve the child whenever you can. And
Okay.
I know on a crazy weeknight, you're like, I am not going to get my kid in the kitchen because I just want to get dinner and be done with it. But if you can involve a child, either A, help them decide what you're going to have, like maybe on Sunday what you're going to have for the week, or helping, like let's say also on Sunday you make a casserole that you're going to have on Tuesday. If the child helps make it, they're going to be more likely to eat it.
Yeah.
The other option I tell people is to kind of give your kids a choice. So we always think that dinner needs to be like glamorous and this big meal. Stop thinking that. Instead, have healthy foods in your fridge and in your pantry, and maybe depending on your child's age, let them or help them decide. So tell your child, hopefully your child, depending on their age, knows all the food groups. Tell them that they can have what they want for dinner as long as they have a fruit, a vegetable, a grain, and a protein.
Okay.
And then let them build a dinner. So I don't care if that protein is a cheese stick and they have an apple and they have, some celery. And I mean, you can just make it up. So
That's a good idea.
Dinner doesn't need to be glamorous. Maybe set that rule depending on their age. 4 food groups, make of it what you want. Or just trying to get your child involved and thinking as simple as possible.
That's a great idea. Put the power in the kids' hands.
Yeah, I mean, help them make educated choices.
That's right.
But yeah,
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's good for now as far as the questions, but obviously you run a blog as well.
I do.
So why don't you tell the people about your blog?
Yeah, so my blog is called thegutsyRD.com. Like I said before, I own a private practice where I specialize in gut health. So if you are having any GI issues, IBS, things like that, my blog is 100% geared to those people for gut-friendly recipes. But all of my recipes are delicious. You've tried one of my chicken recipes.
So good.
I make them for my husband. They're husband approved as well. So the recipes are for absolutely anyone.
Awesome. Paula,
Cool.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions for us or any more questions for Paula,
Yeah.
reach out to me at 30yearoldvirgins@gmail.com. Go to her blog, and appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.